Are you going to be moving from Ozempic to Mounjaro, or potentially from Zepbound to Wegovy, or from Semaglutide to Tirzepatide? Whatever the case may be, if you are making the switch, then this video is for you. Hey everybody, it's Allie. I'm on a fantabulous weight loss journey, and hopefully you'll come along for the ride. So in today's video, I wanted to talk to you about switching from one medication to the other, and specifically we're going to be talking about Semaglutide to Tirzepatide. So Semaglutide, for those of you who don't know, that's going to be your Ozempic, your Wegovy, and then Tirzepatide is going to be your Mounjaro and Zepbound. There are a ton of reasons why people choose to switch from Semaglutide, Ozempic, Wegovy, to Tirzepatide, Mounjaro, Zepbound. And one of the reasons is that they go all the way up in dose in Semaglutide and they don't reach their goal weight. So if you're not familiar with GLP-1 meds, Semaglutide only acts on one, I think it's a GLP receptor, and then Tirzepatide acts on two. Just a fun fact for the future, retatrutide will be acting on three. So, but that's for another day. So if you're going from Semaglutide to Tirzepatide, there are a couple of things that you want to keep in mind. First and foremost, dosage matters. So you want to make sure that you are doing your research on how those dosings translate over from one medication to the other. And you also want to make sure that your doctor is doing the research. I cannot tell you how many people I have seen post in the support groups. They went from Semaglutide to Tirzepatide, and they're like, oh, yeah, I was at the highest dose of Ozempic, and now I'm at 2.5, lowest dose of Mounjaro, and I feel nothing. I have zero appetite suppression. I've got, the food noise is back, blah, blah, blah. It happens all the time. If you go from the highest dose of one medication and then switch up, you need to be prepared that those lower doses, you're likely not going to see a whole lot of results. Now, having said that, you will need to talk with your doctor if it's something that you want to skip to like a middle dose. You're going to need to talk to your doctor. But what I have seen people do is they will do a week or two of the first and lowest dose and then kind of move up progressively faster than the 4-week minimum for each dosage. And then eventually they reach a point where their body goes, whoa, and everything starts working. But that may not be in those first few doses of the Tirzepatide. So you definitely want to keep that in mind. One thing about dosing that I cannot stress enough is if you are not meeting your calorie deficit number, if you are not prioritizing protein, and you go to switch medications, then you may find it more challenging to figure out what dose you're supposed to be on. Now, if you want more information on this, definitely go check out my video where I'm talking about how I am doing a self-induced stall in an attempt to get some of my lab work a little bit better for my next doctor's visit. So if you want more info on that, definitely check that out. But you want to make sure you're prioritizing that protein, because I personally have been on 5 milligram Mounjaro for a very long time. It's working great for me. I have 0 side effects at this point, and I've been, I've been able to have maintained blood sugar, appetite suppression, fuller, faster, all the things. So, but one thing that really stands out to me is when I was not meeting my calorie deficit goal and my protein goal, I was very hungry. And I figured out very quickly that if I wasn't staying on top of specifically the protein, that would make me think that it's time to titrate up in dose, when in actuality it wasn't. I just needed to up my protein. So please, if you're switching from one medication to the other, make sure that your nutrition is on point, because you're going to need to know that you're being consistent so that you can get the dosage right once you move over to Tirzepatide, because with your doctor, there's going to be a little bit of guesswork to get you to that right point. If you found this video helpful, definitely give me a thumbs up. If you haven't already, subscribe. I'd love to have you along for the ride. Make sure you go check out my other videos. I have other helpful tips and tricks and personal experiences that can help you in your weight loss journey. If you're looking for a positive-only support group, don't worry, I've got you covered. The link is in the description box below. And as always, be kind, rewind.